Hello, hello. Good Saturday night.
Hey. What's up, guys, on Periscope? What is up on Facebook Live and
YouTube Live or Google Plus, YouTube
Google
Live.
Plus.
Mostly
Awesome.
YouTube Live is probably what a lot of people are watching. It's on the feeds on Facebook. It's on my website. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, hello, world. We're going to get started in about right at 1 minute. So if you're on Periscope, you can swipe. If you have an iPhone, you can swipe to the right and share with your network. If you have an Android, you can swipe up on Periscope and share with your network. If you're on Facebook Live, obviously,
share it to your page.
Yeah, just share it to your page. And if you're on the YouTube Live or the Google Plus, I think you can share it that way too. You can share it with all your different social media. So let us know where you're coming from. Who all's joining us? I'm gonna get some shout outs. We got Brian Hochsteller, Jen D. We got Buy Cars from Tom, SBODE70. What's up? What's up, Susie Beard Chiat, Dennis 1954, Spokane, Washington. What's up? BJ Bolliard. What's up? Let's see. We got
Brent Kennedy.
Yeah, Brent Kennedy. Jay McAdams. What's up? Let's see. Brent Kennedy. What's up? Liz Cress's hubby. What's up? I was with Liz Cress today. Liz Cress rocks. I just literally got back from Indianapolis. I just got off a flight. I'm back in Florida now. Kansas City, Daddy J 311. What's up? Tupton 15. What's up, guys? Share this with your network. We got about 30 more seconds, and we're going to get started. Actually, no, we're going to get started right now. It's 9 o'clock in the hour. I like to start when I say I'm going to start. And so we're going to go ahead and rock this thing out. Jessica's going to share her 60-second story, and this is a welcome. We want to welcome everybody to Zija International, all the people that have just joined us on this adventure in this business. We want to welcome you and say congratulations on making a quality decision to get started with Zija International. And I'm going to let Jessica take it for a second, share her 60-second story, then I'll take over from there.
Well, first of all, I want to welcome you guys to Zija International. It's exciting to partner with new people every single day, and that's exactly what we're doing, is partnering with brand new people every day who are excited to gain freedom or to get something out of life. And that's where I was 6 years ago. I wanted something more than what I had. At the time, I was working 80 hours a week in retail management. Prior to that, I'd gotten my degree in healthcare administration, tens of thousands of dollars in debt, struggling financially, just wanted to pay off my $300 couch I was sitting on every night. And this was my hope. Zija was my road, my boat, whatever you want to call it. It was my way out. And that's when everything changed for me. When I really saw the vision, that's where everything changed. And it was really a week of Christmas where I clocked 100 hours. And I just knew that in order for things to change, I had to change something. And that's exactly what I did. I got started with Zija. Had a lot of goals when I got started. One was to move to the beach. The other was to go to Australia. And the exciting part is last year we moved to the beach, and in 4 weeks we hit a plane over to Australia for a nice 14-hour flight. Super excited about that. But it's been a blast, and I wouldn't change anything about it. I absolutely love everyone we're partnered with, and everyone who's joined in who I haven't met. I look forward to meeting you all at our Big 10 at 10 event in September. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to Brandon, let him share a little bit of his story, where he came from, and what Zija International, what the big vision of Zija is. And then we're going to get right into some fast start training to help you get off to a fast start. So Brandon?
Awesome, thanks. And if we lose you on Facebook Live, I apologize. It says we have a weak signal, so just hop on over to Periscope or go to jessicahayes.org. If we lose you on Facebook Live, go to jessicahayes.org. What's the /?
/welcome-Zija.
Yeah, welcome-Zija. So if somebody wants to type that in the link on Facebook, that'd be awesome. So I'm Brandon, and I got started with Zija when I was 23 years old. And at the time, I was working 3 jobs. Count them, 1, 2, 3. I don't recommend that to anybody. One job is typically more than enough in terms of stress and responsibility. So, but I had 3 jobs, which means I had 3 bosses. I had 3 people that told me when to wake up, when to go to lunch, when to go home to my family, when to go on vacation, and when I was allowed to be sick. And that was the one that really just kind of, puzzled me a little bit. And I didn't understand that, when someone has enough control over your life to tell you when you're allowed to be sick, They have too much control over your life, and I just didn't want to be a part of that system. And so I saw Zija as a vehicle to get me from where I was to where I wanted to be financially speaking. So I saw the business, and I was excited about the business. I was excited about creating residual income. I'd never been exposed before network marketing. I didn't know that you could create residual income. And so I got started with Zija age 23. I dove in head first. You know, I didn't stick one toe in. I dove in head first. I treated it like a real business. And because of that, it paid me like a real business. And so I got really excited, started sharing this with some people. The cool part is that our products are based on empirical science. And so along the way, we were able to help a lot of people. A lot of friends and family saw great results with the products. And as far as the business goes, in about 6 months, I was starting to make some pretty serious income. And in about 18 months, we were knocking down an income that allowed me to completely walk away from corporate America. And I haven't had a job since I was 24 years old because of the residual income, the ongoing passive income from Zija International. So it's been a big, big blessing in my life, and it's put us in a position to have a lot more choices and options and freedom, like Jessica talked about, you know, than we ever would have had if we would have stayed on the path that we were on before. You know, I never could have produced, and it's not just about the money. I could not have produced the lifestyle that we've been able to produce with the time freedom. You know, we smashed our alarm clocks, guys. We don't owe our time to anyone, right? Except our Creator. And you know, I get to when we have kids, our kids won't be raised in daycare. If our kids want to learn French, we'll take them to France for a month.
That's right.
And do, you know, put them in the culture of France and hire a private tutor, right? We don't have boundaries on our lives like we used to, and it's not because we're special. It's not because we're smarter than anybody. It's just because we have a very simple system, which we'll talk a little bit about tonight, and it's because we have we take a lot of pride in showing people support. Guys, I'm tired right now. I'll be honest with you. I'm not wide awake. I'm a little bit, I'm a little tired. I've been up since I went to bed at 3 a.m., got up, I landed in Indianapolis at 1:30 in the morning, went to bed at 3 a.m., got up at 6 a.m., spoke all day from 8 o'clock a.m. to about 1 or 2 p.m. this afternoon, and I literally just landed.
You just walked in the door right before this started.
I just walked in the door, but here's what I'm committed to. I'm committed to creating a culture of support, whether you're a part of our team or not. It doesn't matter to me because we're all part of the same team. We're all part of Zija International. And so, you know, that's the culture we've created, and that's why we succeed. That's the magic. And so we're going to dive into some of these topics tonight, guys. You know, I'm a snot-nosed kid from Nowheresville, Kentucky. I didn't know much when I got started, but I went to the people that were having success, and I said, hey, will you show me what you're doing? So the system and the support, that's the only reason I've had success in this, guys. I'm a college dropout. You know, I'm no better than anybody else. I just was willing to put in the effort. I was willing to learn a simple system and begin to duplicate it and teach it to some other people. And I had great support from great people, and that's why we've had the success that we've had. So we're going to talk about some of those concepts. Before I turn it back over to Jess, I want you to understand what you're a part of. I want you to understand why would I do that? You know, when you know, now our income level, we're at a point where we make more in most months than we used to make in most years. Why would I still be doing what I'm doing? Why would I, even though I'm tired right now, I don't feel like, you know, I still had the suit on from when I spoke today. I haven't had a time to change clothes yet. Why would I do that? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One, because I know what we are a part of. We're a part of the natural health revolution. That is spawned by Zija International, you know, and is spearheaded by a gentleman named Dr. Joshua Plant, who graduated first in his class from Harvard Medical School. So I know what we're a part of. I know the facts, and that's gone, you know, 18 inches from my head to my heart. So I know that we're a part of something big. We have a window of time to go out and do something very, very special. And you're part of that too. You're a big part of that. And so that's one reason why I'm doing what I'm doing still, but also because I have some huge, ridiculous goals. You know, most of the time when I tell people my goals, they laugh at me, and I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, so they laughed at when I was 22 and I told people I'd be retired from corporate America. You know, by the time I was 24, they laughed at me and told me it wasn't possible. That's okay. I love when people tell me stuff's not possible, because then I just use that as fuel to go out and prove them wrong. I put them on my make them pay list. And so, so anyway, the natural health revolution, guys, this is not just a moment in time. This is a movement. We are a part of something that will never happen again. Dr. Josh Plant has been quoted as saying, we live in the greatest nutritional famine that in the history of the world. And he's arguably, one of the most brilliant minds of the 21st century, because of his track record in terms of education and his resume and his accolades. But when a guy like that says something like that, and then he spawns a revolution called the natural health revolution, you gotta kind of perk up and pay attention. And so know that this is not some little piddly thing. This is not, we're not, convincing people that our kitchen knives are better than someone else's kitchen knives. You with me? This is a big, big deal. Okay. We have something that no one else has. And it's easy to say you're the best. I know everybody says they're the best. I get pitched all day long on every company and every product and every service. Everybody says they're the best, but it's easy to say you're the best. It's another thing entirely to be able to prove it. And let me tell you something, documentation beats conversation. Okay, I can go toe-to-toe with anybody in any company, and I'm not afraid to do it. All right, so the natural health revolution, I just want you to know, I want you to know up here and right here, I want you to know that this is a big, big deal, okay? The natural health revolution. All right, so Zija International spawned it. No, it is not Scientology. I had to block that guy, Scientology. So I'm gonna turn it over to Jess real quick, and she's gonna talk about the Fast Start training document. I hope you have that with you. If you don't, she's got one here, and you can take a look, maybe watch the recording.
But I do want to say, as far as Zija goes, guys, Zija is everyone's vehicle if they want it to be. Anything you want out of life, there is a way that Zija can help you get there. Just get with someone and ask them, how can Zija be that road, or whatever you want to call it. So what I want to do is, everyone who's getting started with Zija, whether you joined yesterday or you joined in the past month, I want you guys, if you don't have this in front of you, I know we didn't say to have it, but if you can grab it really quick, grab it. It came in your welcome kit, or just get pen and paper, because we're going to walk you through every single bit of it. And so on the first thing, what it says is, find your why. Why are you doing Zija? Maybe what are some of your goals that you want to hit? My reason why was so I could travel. I wanted to travel more. I didn't want to have to, I didn't want to be someone's worker. I didn't want a boss. I don't answer to Brandon. I didn't need to answer to someone else. He always says that at events. And so I just knew Zija was a way for me to be my own boss and to get what I wanted. And so what is your reason why? And so I'm going to let Brandon kind of hit on that. And go a little deeper for us. Yeah,
so here's what I'll tell you guys. If you don't, whether it's Zija or whether it's, any business, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if you don't have a strong enough reason why, then here's what you'll do. You'll quit, period. Whether it's, being a professional athlete, whether it's selling real estate or insurance, whether it's, being a network marketing professional, it doesn't matter. If you don't have a strong enough reason why, you will quit, period. And so I like to always paint a picture. I like visuals. I don't know if you guys are visual learners like me, but picture this. Picture there's a 2x4 laying on the ground. And I can't take credit for this visual. This is Darren Hardy. So read the book, The Compound Effect, and you'll see this story in there. So there's a 2x4 laying on the ground. I'm standing at one end of that 2x4, and then on the other end of that 2x4 is you. And I'm waving a $20 bill, and I say, hey, all you got to do is walk across that 2x4 laying on the ground, and I'll give you the $20 bill. Would you do it? The answer is probably yes, because it's something very simple to do. It's an easy $20. Most people would do that. They would walk across that 2x4 without even thinking about it. Let's change the circumstances just a little bit. Let's raise that same 2x4 20 stories up between two skyscrapers in Chicago. And I'm standing at the top of one skyscraper. That same 2x4 is bridging that gap, and you're on this skyscraper over here, and I'm waving that same $20 bill. Would you then walk across that same 2x4 and then grab that $20 bill? The answer is probably not. And here's why. Because the circumstances have changed, right? It's not as the risk is not worth the reward anymore. The pain, the potential pain, is not worth the price. And so let me change the circumstances once more. In this building is your spouse or your child, someone you care about, and this building is engulfed in flames. On this building is you. That same 2x4 is there. Now, what are you going to do? You're probably going to run across the 2x4, not even think twice about it, dive into a burning building so you can save your spouse or your child or whoever it might be, and I don't even have to pay you for it. At the end of the day, I don't even have to give you the money for it. So what's the difference? The difference is that the why has changed. And so if you have a strong enough reason why, here's what I'll tell you, that the facts don't even count. If you have a strong enough reason why, then you'll figure out anyhow. But if you don't have a strong reason why, you just get in this thing and you're just saying money, 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 then chances are you're probably going to quit. The first time, the first time your best friend tells you, pyramid scheme or something silly, make some kind of ignorant comment like some of these people on Periscope that I'm blocking left and right. I'm like, I'm blocking these fools tonight, guys. So
I think he's blocked like 10.
I've blocked like 10 people because I don't put up with it. It's just nonsense. I don't reply or respond to ignorance, right? And so you don't get it. You're gonna make an ignorant comment on my deal here. You're not even gonna get an ignorant reply from me. So when your best friend tells you says something ignorant or silly like pyramid scheme, it's gonna knock you off course if you don't have a strong enough reason why.
That's right.
If you don't have a strong enough reason why, then you'll quit. Period. And it may not be your friend saying that. It might be something else. You might have a bad day. The product gets shipped to you, and it's 2 days late or something, or they leave out, one of your sticks of XM Plus, man. You go like, you turn into the Hulk or something. You go crazy and you say, I'm quitting this thing. And so at the end of the day, if you don't have a strong enough reason why, you'll quit. So you got to have a strong reason why. So
you hit it good, Brandon. So we're going to move on. We want to keep it at 30 minutes. We're halfway through. And so this second thing you need to do, and this is probably one of the more important things, because either someone else needs your excitement or you need to go to someone else for excitement. And we do that by getting plugged in and staying connected. And some of the ways that we do that is getting to events. You can go to zijaevents.com. And that's going to be a list of everything that's happening in the world. You're going to see events in Japan, events in Australia, events in Europe, events here in America. And so stay plugged in by looking at those events. Also, there's hundreds of Facebook pages of Zija distributors who are posting events there as well. Find those pages, ask to be a part of those groups, and get plugged in. And this Tuesday night is our biggest call with corporate, with Zija Corporate. And that's our Zija Nation call. That call, I actually just listened in. I don't even think Brandon had the chance this morning. He was speaking at an event. But I listened in to our Diamond call this morning, and what they're announcing for you all on this call is phenomenal. They're doing things this period and next that they have never done with any distributor before. And
I'm excited. I don't even know what it is.
I'm actually a little jealous about it. But one of them we can take part in. The other one we pay our way if we want to join. But it's going to be exciting. You don't want to miss that call. If you don't know what the dial-in number is, watch on Facebook, get on your leader's text list. They're going to send you the information this week. And so being plugged in and getting to events and getting on the calls is what will keep you on track. The moment that you decide that, oh, you've heard that a million times, you don't need to go to that event, or they never give enough good information on that call, it's not worth my 30 minutes. That's when you will find you'll be out of the game next week. Mm-hmm. And your reason why clearly was not strong enough. If you ever have that feeling, go back to that reason why and start reevaluating. That's why it's so important to have a reason why. And so get your reason why, get plugged in, learn when everything's happening around you. One of the next big events that I know that we're hosting is actually going to be a beach party. It's some fellowship time. It's some bronze, the level of bronze, plus training that we're going to be having here on the Emerald Coast where we live, Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. It's between Destin and Panama, a gorgeous area. And we're inviting everyone in Zija Nation to come be a part of that. You can find that on my website, jessicahayes.org/freedom-beach-party. One of these days, I'll probably get you an easier domain, but until now, just keep looking through my Facebook. You'll find it. But there's a lot of stuff coming up that is exciting. And of course, the biggest thing this year for you to get plugged into is our Zija 10 at 10. I just made posts actually all over Facebook, encouraging leaders of markets to start calling, airlines and getting discounted group rates. One of the things that really stinks is, you live on the East Coast, we've got to get, to Salt Lake City, and the flight's $700 round trip. Well, if you guys will round up at least 10 people, you can get that flight cut down probably by a couple $100s if you'll just take the time and do it. And so we're all about removing excuses. That's an event If you're not there, we're probably not going to work with you because you clearly are not that serious about it. We'll be there. Everyone making $10,000 a month will be there, and you should too. So that's getting connected and staying plugged in. The next big thing on the list is making a list. Make lists daily. And so, Brandon, I'm going to let you kind of dive into this, and there's some different things here that I'll let you look at. So
yeah, so if you have this little this thing that came in your welcome kit, it's got a great memory jogger here, and you can start writing your list down. And here's what I'll tell you, it's a great experience to be able to sit at the back of the room a few years ago watching one of your mentors speak, and then a few years later you're sitting next to him and you're speaking with him on stage like I was today with Mike Sims. He's the chairman of the advisory board for Zija International. I got to speak with that guy today, and one of the things that he told me when I first got started, he said, Brandon, if your list is in your head, that's where your paycheck will be. As in, it won't exist, right? So when people start saying, well, I got it in my head or it's in my phone or whatever, guys, listen, your capital in this business is people. Really, your capital in any business is people. But your capital in this business is people, and so you got to write your list down and then categorize it. Start thinking about it. And there's some great categories on here. People you feel you have influence over, natural entrepreneurs, health-centered people, right? So you can kind of categorize them. It already does it for you in this little welcome kit, and so you can whip this thing out and have a list going in no time. I would make it as big as possible. How far do you want to go? If you consider Zija the vehicle, the list is your gasoline. When do you want to run out of gas? The answer is never. Guys, in the last 24 hours, I've added 3 complete strangers that I did not know, added 3 people to my list. They are now in my proverbial funnel, and they will be getting exposed to the information, right, and followed up with. But 3 new people that I didn't know are now on my list. 3 sharp people, by the way. And I haven't even told her about this yet.
I'm excited now.
Yeah, because these guys are awesome. But anyway.
And guess where they're going? On our cards that we told you about the last time we did this.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
If you didn't see that one, go back and watch it.
Go back and watch that one. So anyway, the list, here's the deal, guys. You have to make a list, or if you're gonna be so lazy that you're not gonna sit down and write down the names and numbers of the people that you know or that you've known in the past and categorize them a little bit. If you're so lazy that you're not gonna do that, do something else. Don't do Zija International as a business. In fact, don't do any network marketing as a business. Because if you can't do that, because the number one excuse I hear for people quitting network marketing is they say something crazy like, I ran out of people to talk to. And that's the most, if you knew the thoughts that were happening in my head when people say that, it's like I'm going crazy inside, but I just smile, and I'm thinking to myself, ran out of people to talk to. At the end of the day, I'm like, there's 8 billion or 7 billion or whatever people on the planet, and they're making new people every single day. Like, we're not running out of people to talk to anytime soon. I promise you. They make new ones every day. And so most people that think they ran out of people to talk to, they've justified why they quit because they didn't have a strong enough reason why. They've justified why they quit in their head when really what's happened is they were lazy in list making. So don't be lazy in list making. I just told you how to avoid the number one excuse as to why people quit in the business. And so don't do it. Think about this. If you added 1 person to your list every single day for a year, how many names is that? That's 365 names on a list. Here's what I'll tell you. If you peak, pass, plug, which is what we're going to talk about next, if you properly expose and follow up with those people, 365 people, you're going to find at least 2 that want to partner with you in this thing, and they want to do this in a big way. And you're gonna hit some ranks in the company, make some money, and start building a team. Okay, so this is not like rocket surgery. Okay, even a snot-nosed kid from Nowheresville, Kentucky, could figure out how to do this stuff. Like, write down a list. That's where it all starts. If you ain't got a list, you ain't got nothing. Okay, so start with the list. And that's your capital in this business. That's how before you can launch this business, you got to have a list.
And so what do we do with the list? There's a fly and it's driving me nuts. What we do with our list is we get them into our system. And what is that system? It's very simple. It's peak, pass, plug. We do it a little differently than the way we actually say it. So we're going to do our best to tell you guys how we actually do it so that you guys can do it with your people as well. So basically what we do is we go out and we talk to people. Number one, we're in the relationship building business. Go out, meet people, build a relationship with them, get to know them, get to know their needs. Find out how you can help people. Whether it's with Zija, with their health, with making more money, maybe it's outside of Zija, maybe you just need to help them with something else in life before they're ready to come to Zija and take a look at what you have. But go build relationships with people and start talking to them and finding out their needs. And so we're just there to pique interest. And so Brandon has some different taglines that he likes to use. So I'm going to let him pass those over to you all and write them down. Write them down so you can make them and shift them into your own words.
Yeah, so here's what you got to realize. And I talked about this today. Mike and I did at the training event a little bit, and I'd love to talk more in depth about it. We got to be brief. We got like 7 minutes, so I'm going to talk fast. Here's the deal. All we're doing, like when I went to Chris Estes and I asked him, I said, hey, what do I say to people? He said, I don't care what you say. And a matter of fact, they don't care either. So he was trying to take the pressure off of me, and he was kind of being funny, which it helped. And so I realized that I'm playing all this mental ping pong, and I'm thinking, what do I say? When in reality, instead of trying to pitch people and like try to come up with something fancy and be some kind of salesman, instead of doing that, I just needed to, like she said, I needed to have conversation. Instead of having presentations, you're not hearing, you don't want to pop out of the bushes and say Zija, and then people aren't going to say, where do I sign? It's just not how this works. This is a relationship. It's a people business. You build a friendship, then you can build a partnership. And so now that doesn't mean that has to take like a year. You can do that in a day. Okay. So here's what I do. The process that runs through my head is when I'm exposing people to the information, the conversation that I'm having, I'm going to edify them. I'm going to build them up. I'm going to find a way to give them genuine compliments, genuine being the key word. Number two, I ask a lot of questions, and these are the type of questions that I ask. I ask questions like about their family. I ask questions about their occupation. What do they like about what they do? What do they not like about what they do? I ask questions about recreation. What do they do for fun? I ask questions about motivation. What excites them about their life? What is it that they're passionate about? Where do they see themselves in 5 years? So those are the kind of questions I ask. So I edify them, give genuine compliments, and stroke the ego a little bit, right? Because what's everybody's favorite subject? Themselves, right? What's everybody's favorite word? Their name, period, right? And so I use their name a lot if possible, and I talk about them. And so I edify them, I ask questions, and then once I've gathered all that information, I've gathered all that intel, I share relevant stories. I do that to create commonality, to find common ground. Because here's the deal, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how great the product is. It could be a different company. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how great the product or comp plan, none of that stuff matters. People do business with people that they like and trust, period. If they like Zija, but they don't like and trust you, they'll go do Zija with somebody else, right? So our goal is not to convince them that Zija is great or, Moringa or, not to spew all the facts at them. It's just to build a relationship because people do business with people they like and trust. All right, so I pique interest. I say something like this, and if I'm calling off of my initial list, there's different ways to do this. So if I'm calling off of my initial list, I might call them with some urgency because they already know me, right? If it's someone that already knows me, then I might say, hey, Joe, listen, I've got something I'm excited about. I don't have a lot of time to talk right now, but listen, this is a big deal. I just got attached to some really, really successful people. And man, honestly, I'm just like, I'm blessed. Like I feel great that I'm fortunate to even be attached to these guys, but they're working on a project where they're just including me in it. And I'm just super fortunate. Listen, they asked me if I know anyone else that might be open to taking a look at this. And they asked me to make a list of a few people that have integrity and have character and they do things for the right reasons. Well, I put your name at the top of that list. And so that's why I'm calling you, man. Like I said, I got to get out of here. I don't have a lot of time. But when can you talk again? Because I want to hop back on the phone with you. I'd like to chat with you later tonight or tomorrow. What time works best for you so we can chat about this? And then I wait. And Joe tells me what time. I say, great, Joe, I'm going to shoot you a video that you can watch, get a little bit of an idea about what this is all about so that when we come to that call, you'll have a little bit of a framework and you can kind of understand what this is all about. And you'll probably have some questions. I'll get your questions answered. All right, Joe, talk to you tomorrow at 7 or whatever time he said, right? So that's how we do it. That's called peak and pass. Well, it's peak, schedule the pass, or schedule the plug, and then pass. And then, of course, 7 o'clock that night or whenever the scheduled plug is, that we roll around to that call, and then I ask 3 questions. The plug looks like this. Hey, Joe, listen, man, did you get a chance to watch that video I sent you? Joe says, yes. I say, great. I'll move on to the second question. What did you like best about what you saw? Was it the products or the business opportunity or maybe just kind of a combination of the two? And Joe says, man, I kind of like both. If he says, I just like the product, then I steer the conversation in that direction. If he says, I just like the business, then I steer the conversation in that direction. Whatever he likes, I like it too. So I just talk about what he likes. So the third question is, Joe, what questions do you have that I can get answered for you? And Joe says, you know, man, I'm just curious, you know, what all is in this moringa stuff? That looks pretty cool. And, you know, how do you get started? Are there different ways to get started? Whatever Joe's question is, doesn't matter. I'm going to say, Joe, that's a great question. I had some questions like that when I first was taking a look at this too. I tell you what, I want to get that answered for you the right way. And I kind of want to show you our system too. So hold on just 1 second. I put Joe on hold, and I've got my connection call person who I've texted in advance, and I say, hey, I put them on the phone. Let's say it's Kevin. So I say, hey, Kevin, I've got my friend Joe on the phone. Joe, I went to high school with him. We've been friends for a long time. He's taking a look at the video. He's got a couple questions. Can you share your story with him? I think you'll kind of relate with him. Can you share your story and answer his questions? Thanks, Kevin. So I got Kevin now, and I merged the call. So now we're on a three-way connection call. We're all on the call together. Me, Joe, and Kevin are all there. And here's what I do. I say, Joe, listen, man, thanks for holding for a second. I appreciate you being patient. What I did, man, this is crazy. I actually, you know those guys I told you about? I actually got one of them on the phone. And listen, this guy is one of the top income earners, one of the top leaders in the company. He's built a global business, and I trust him. He's one of my best friends. I got a ton of respect for him. What am I doing? I'm building Kevin up. I'm building the expert up, putting him on a pedestal, giving him credibility and authority on the call, so that Joe, my prospect, knows that Kevin knows what the heck he's talking about, right? And so, so then I say, thanks for joining me on the call, Kevin. Listen, this is my friend Joe. He's got a couple questions, and I wanted you guys to get a chance to meet. I've told him a lot about you, and so I want you to share your story if you can. Thanks for being on the call. I'll turn it over to you. So I turn it over to Kevin. Kevin takes the call. I hit mute on my phone, and I don't talk. I don't interrupt Kevin. I don't talk again until Kevin turns the call back over to me. What's Kevin going to do? Is Kevin going to try to convince him or sell him? No, he's not going to convince Joe or sell Joe. We don't convince and sell. This is not a beg and sell business. This is a show and go business. We're in the sorting business. We're sorting the people that are ready to get started from the people that are not ready to get started yet. And either way is okay. There's no emotional attachment to this because we don't need everybody. I promise you. Trust me. So here's what you do. You sort, and you do it through this process. And so Kevin is just going to share his story with Joe. He's going to try to relate with Joe a little bit. And then he's going to answer Joe's questions and lead Joe to the next step. Now, the next step might be getting started. Joe might say, yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's do this thing. Or it might be learning a little bit more. More likely, Joe's going to say, well, I just need to learn more about the products. I need to learn more about the business. Whatever it is, Kevin is going to help steer Joe to that next step. So that's what a peak pass plug looks like. Let's review it real quick. All I did is I piqued Joe's interest. I said something simple in 60 seconds or less. I said, man, you got to take a look at this. And then when he says, what is it? I know I've done a good job of piquing his interest. So I then pass him to a third-party tool. I schedule a time to talk with him, and he says he can agree. He agrees to talk at a certain time. I say, great. I'm going to pass you to take a look at a video or a conference call or something other than me doing the talking. I pass him to a tool. And then at the scheduled time, I'm going to plug him into someone, my upline or someone that he can kind of relate with a little bit that can answer his questions and share the stories. So that's Peak Pass Plug. All we did is we got him in front of the info, doing as little talking as possible, and then we got him on the phone or in front of someone other than ourselves. That process, folks, literally, get them in front of the info, get them on the phone or in front of somebody else. That process, although it sounds very elementary and simple, that process is what has allowed Jessica and I to build one of the largest organizations in the history of network marketing and put ourselves in the 1% of network marketing income earners, but also the 1% of income earners in America by doing that simple process, building a global business. I know it sounds crazy, but the heart is in the head. Don't overcomplicate this stuff. Don't think you have to be some kind of moringa salesman, because that is not what this is. All you're doing is peeking, passing, and plugging. You got your big list, and you're peeking, passing, and plugging through that list to sort, to find the people that are ready to get started right now, and the people that aren't, you put them on the waiting list, the incubator list, and we circle back around later, and we find them when the timing is better for them. Okay, so we're just sorting. We're not selling. We're not hopping out of bushes and saying Zija and trying to say something fancy and convince people or sell people. All we're doing is sorting. Okay, so that takes all the pressure off of you. Peak, pass, plug. That's how we do it. Jess?
That guy has been talking all day, and I can tell that he's just as full of it today, because I think I spoke for a total of 5 minutes. So
she says that about me often.
But hopefully you caught all of that. He was speaking really fast to try to get it into this 30 minutes, but it's simple. And just know that if you're going out and you truly have the intentions of helping others, then great things will happen for you. And so I'll leave you with this, and it's the next step that's not in that document that I encourage you to do, and that is schedule your own home launch this week. the next 7 days. Invite your friends and your family over, those who are close to you, those who you speak to on a weekly, monthly basis. Invite those people over and just share what you're excited about with them. That's all you need to do. I'm excited about this. Watch this video and then close it out with someone in your upline. Let them close it out over the phone. Just put your phone on speakerphone. So that's what I encourage you to do. Make your list. If you have not started writing a list yet, if you get off of this live feed and in the next 10 minutes you don't put 10 names on paper, then you're not serious enough and you need to get serious. If you have big goals and you have big dreams, put 10 names on a sheet of paper within the next 10 minutes. So with that, we'll see you guys next time. Wednesday night, 8:00 p.m. We're going to have an initial training call, not just for the brand new person, but for those who have been in for several years. 8:00 Wednesday night, we'll be doing a training. Do you know what the topic is for the next one?
Yeah, we're talking about sponsoring someone. Yeah. So
we're going to go in depth on, what is the right things to do when you're helping someone get started. And so as you're bringing new people on, what steps do you need to help them learn? Besides getting them on these webinars, what can you help them with? So that's what we'll be speaking on this Wednesday night at 8 p.m. So be sure you're tuned in to our Facebook pages and staying connected with us as well. Any last words, Brandon?
No, I'm just excited. Listen, guys, I want to tell you that you're capable of greatness. Listen, you're God's highest form of creation, and despite what anybody has told you, I don't know who you run with or who your circles are, but let me tell you something. You're God's highest form of creation, and there are seeds of greatness in you, but you have to cultivate the seeds, right? God feeds the birds. It's true that God feeds the birds every morning, but he doesn't shove the worm down their throat. Abraham Lincoln said, good things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle, right? And so understand that we've got a window of opportunity with this natural health revolution. The timing will never be like it is right now. So commit to the process. Going diamond is a process. Being a successful network marketer is a process. Commit to the process long term. Have a strong reason why. Set some short-term goals. Where do you want to be in 30 days? Set some longer-term goals. Where do you want to be in 90 days? Where do you want to be in 2 years, 5 years? And then write down a list, and let's blast through that list with no emotional attachment to the outcome, okay? Blast through that list because you're just sorting through this peak, pass, plug system that we talked about. Get connected. Be on the calls. I know you can't be on every call, and I know you can't be at every event, but don't miss the ones that you can be because you make some silly excuse. Be an entrepreneur, have some thick skin, and when people say silly stuff to you, because they're gonna say silly stuff, I promise you. Well-meaning, well-wishing, negative Nancy, thumb-sucking, diaper division, loser, whiny crybaby, sour Steve at work. They're gonna say negative stuff to you. Anytime you do something positive for your life and for your future, you make everyone around you very uncomfortable. Okay, because they know they could do the same thing, but they're complacent and they're comfortable just ho-humming it through life, and they're comfortable, settling for average and mediocre. Well, average and mediocre makes me sick to my stomach. Average is the best of the worst and the worst of the best, and you're better than that. And I'm telling you that this is the vehicle that can help you do that. This is the vehicle that can help you fight for greatness in your life, okay? Whether it's financial freedom, time freedom, health freedom, whatever it is, this is the thing that can help you do that. And when you flip that mental switch and you really move that 18 inches from your head to your heart, it's going to make a difference in your family's life. It's going to make a difference in your future. And I'm telling you, the next 2 years can be drastically different than the last two. And maybe everything's okay for you and you don't need to make any changes, but I'm just telling you, if you need to make some changes, let's do this thing together. Pony up, cowboy up. Let's lock arms side by side, 100% business partners as one Zija Nation with one mission to go out and set the captives free with this natural health revolution, and we will help people achieve life unlimited. And so that's what I'm committed to. I hope you're committed to that as well. We're excited. We're excited to welcome you to the team here, and we look forward to meeting you real soon at an event. We definitely look forward to seeing you at the beach party and the Zija 10 at 10 event that's coming up here in just a few short months. And with that, we will see you at the top or from the top, baby. You guys have a great night.
Have a good night. Bye.